Good morning, all. Happy Monday mornings. It's the 9th of May 2022. So, we'll do a quick recap of last week and then sort of chalk out a plan for this week as well, and both long term and short term. Okay. Quickly on the weekly profiles, if you see on the weekly profiles, we did consolidate before this for the last 2 weeks and then also the early part of this week. And then we have moved down on the weekly profile, so it's a clear trend move on the weekly profiles, which is broken away of this also 17,400 17,000 zones, 950 zones, which was spoken about couple of times, and we saw quite a few rotations in this range. So that was a that is a clear difference. Now we have broken outside this range, so any pullback to the top of this range, generally in the coming weeks, 800 levels would be a resistance as such. Okay, primary resistance being around 650. Okay, so any pullback now around 650 also is expected to be a resistance. Okay, so now where are we headed? One is there is not much volume if you see between this and 16,000 region. So what can happen is we might consolidate in this range and build volume around this, because last time when this move happened from here, it was also a trend move up without much of volume. So we might build some volume and build yeah, new areas of reference around this zone. Okay, for Nifty. Okay, that is the overall picture in terms of weekly. Okay, and as I said, as of now, any pullback to 650 we consider as a resistance. Okay, we have some support zones below at 280, 250 zones. Okay, which are minor support zones. We'll see how markets react to this. Today's opening is likely to be around there. Okay, and before that, we quickly review S&P. S&P 500, if you see, we have spoken about 4135 being a key reference. We have broken below that zone. Now we've almost tested 4060, which is a May, I think, close to one of the lows for May 2022 or 2021. So almost, 1 years of gain. We almost tested those lows. So this, we're trying to bounce off that low. We have seen some test here as well. So until we hold this for today, I think I'm expecting to sort of consolidate in this range. Once we break below 4060, then 3990 areas are on essentially. Okay, so we'll expect some sort of a pullback and consolidation at this point, from an S&P point of view for today. Okay, now basis that, when you look at today's markets, okay, structure in Nifty, if we are looking for a gap down around 230 to 20 is last what I saw in SGX. So what I have is 280 to 30. I have a support zone, which is from old references. So if you tend to hold that, again I look for a pullback today to test the value area of low of yesterday, which is about 350, 350 to around 400 zones. Okay, that is where you would look to test. Okay, see some resistance and then consolidation in that zone. Okay, if you're holding below 230, then I think we'll continue to see some weakness. 230 plus minus 10-15 points depending on how we open, then we'll see continue to see some weakness and in a potential trend move down for a larger move, which could play out to, if you see, 130 and then eventually 16,000 levels. Okay, so these are the two large case scenarios at this point. Nifty, as I said, we for Bank Nifty, again, quickly on the weekly profiles, I think we have a couple of lows here. If you see 34,150, 100 levels, couple of lows and also previous tops here. So it's a very key reference, 34,000, 34,150 for Bank Nifty. Okay, if you really get below this range, 34,000 to 34,150, then a quick move down is possible, probably to 33K, 33,200 levels. Okay, until then we would expect that we test lower and hold this, try to pull back into 150. If we do pull back into 150, then over the next week, and if you hold 34,000, 34,150, I think over the next week a move back to top of this week, 34 800 900 is also possible at this point. And where that is where we'll see some sort of a resistance coming into 34, 34 800 35K is where I'll expect some sort of resistance to come in. So this week range primarily at this point would be to see if we can hold 34K and then move to 35K over a period of this week. If we don't, then I think we are headed lower. Then 34 150 200 will tend to become a resistance. Okay, from that point of view, today we will open around, probably, I'm not sure where Bank Nifty will open, but we'll see if we can hold and take some sort of a support around these lows that we had, okay, around 34, sorry, yeah, 34 150 200 levels, okay. So if we do, then we look for some sort of bounce to 34 500. Else, I think, we will look for a lower bearish trade, which could be around, target could be around your 34 33 800 and lower, okay. So that is where we would look for 33 800 33 700 are the two potential target below those zones that we look for, okay. So, so that's the plan for today. So initially we'll see in case of a gap down, because S&P, I'm hoping those levels, as I said, would hold. We would look for a sort of a bounce as well. Some fundamental news I was reading overall, exports they are saying is declining. So demand for exports are declining, which essentially means, overall demand is declining. That is a sign of lessening demand is a sign of, no, if you see this lessening export is a sign of lessening demand. Lessening demand is a sign of essentially economies contracting and some sort of a recession generally and globally. Okay, that's how they interpret this. But this is fundamental news, so we don't trade that time frame, but just general context as such. Okay, guys, have a good day and have a good week ahead. See you all. Bye.